health. So health is interesting because it's something I've been battling with for a while, and it's probably something that I need to focus on immediately after like the home environment. It's like, no, that foundation really does need to be built. So one of the things I realized is the activity level, number one, is something that I just need to fix in general, especially now working at home. Immediately linking this up with my spirituality and nature makes things so much better. The idea that you really should get outside in nature, regardless of like what the weather's doing in a lot of ways, just like get out and go for a walk is so important. And so I'm linking that up too with a step count, having a Fitbit and knowing that I need to hit a certain step count, not so much for the day, even though that's part of the thing, but also mostly for the week, just to know that every week I'm getting out and really walking around, whether that's with friends or just like to get out with nature. And during this time, it's also extremely meditative for me, which I think is also very, very helpful when it comes to my health. I've always kind of needed time to let my mind decompress and take a minute, and I notice that if I don't, I get very in my head and I feel like I have all this extra energy and I don't know what to do with it, and I feel like almost like jumping, and it's like that feeling of like needing to get in a car and just drive as fast as possible and get away from everything, even though there's like almost nothing to get away from. It's very random. And the walking and letting my mind decompress and flow and reach out and play with different things without really worrying about it, I think is really, really important. And it allows me kind of just to let my imagination wander with like headphones in, letting whatever music play, and just taking in the nature of the flowers of the city or the different trees or the buildings or like whatever else, just getting to walk around. And sometimes it even means venturing out into the woods and getting completely surrounded by nature to really have that feeling of connection, because I think that is so important, specifically to my mental health, to make sure that things going more smoothly in general. Sleep is also important. I have been all over the freaking place with my sleep schedule, and that's not okay. And it's probably why a lot of different stress is going crazy, because like, I mean, there's been so many studies done on it at this point about how important sleep is. And one of the things that I've also really, really noticed, again, which has kind of triggered something for me, especially spiritually and health and all that, is the lack of dreams I'm having. I've had literally maybe like 5 dreams I can even remember. One which was a very vivid nightmare, which I will do a coffee and cauldrons on later. And it was very interesting how certain things kind of lined up with that. And dreams are one of the main ways I feel connected, and I also communicate with my deities and stuff. So the lack of dreams that I'm having does make me feel disconnected from them, and it's probably because of my lack of really good sleep. I'm sleeping at random hours, I'm staying up extremely late, I'm not waking up at the proper times, I'm not getting certain things done. It's a lot of just being all over the place and then being tired and emotionally exhausted, and just not sleeping well is definitely adding on to all of that. So I need to get into a proper sleep schedule again, back to sleeping 8 hours a night, and you know, doing that bed every single night at a certain time, waking up at a certain time every single morning, no exceptions, whether it's the weekend or not or whatever else. Just like keep a proper good cycle, make things better. And also then also comes with food. I need to cut back on my alcohol content just a wee bit. I'm not one of those people that ever says like take away all the things you like, especially when it comes to like food, diet, because the minute you take away like all the joys, it's just like it's like so hard to stay committed to things long term. But I have noticed that, one, if I just eat at home more, I just don't drink at home really. I feel like drinking is like, I'll randomly have like a beer if I really am like enjoying a story or a book and I just want to like have a nice cold one while I'm like reading something, that's fine. But most of the time, so I want to just have like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and or just seltzer water, because bubbles and water just make me so happy. So cooking more at home and doing more meals and stuff at home, one, will help my freaking pocketbook, but that's another video. And also just being able to cook healthier foods, because I'm not worried about what are they putting in the food, do I have a healthy option, and also am I ever going to pick the healthy option, because if I'm eating out, I'm like, I want the delicious option, and there are delicious healthy options, but I don't ever pick them. So, and I think that's some of my personal policies. It's like, personal policy 1 is accepting the fact that health is a up and down journey. It's not all gonna be like, I will make all this progress and all the health problems will go away immediately. And also, you know, doing some small things like personal policy is I eat home 75% of the week. Even if that means like not going out with friends, which is part of my death year thing, right? Like I get to go and experience stuff with friends. It's like, well, maybe cut back on that just a little bit so that you can spend less money and do more healthy options. I need to be moving a lot every single week and getting out and spending time in nature. I need to get a proper amount of sleep, you know, going to bed at the same time. That's now personal policy of mine, regardless of what plans have been made, etc. and so forth. I've been putting experiences in such a high level of a pedestal, and while experiences are great and connection is great and finding connected to a new place is all the yes, but I can't keep living like I'm on vacation because I live here. And a lot of times I think I feel very, I don't know, a bit almost amazed at times when I go on my walks. I'm like, oh my god, I live here. Like, I don't have to go elsewhere. I don't have to suck in every single experience and let so many things go to the wayside. It's, I have time here, and so I get to do the longer, harder things. It's okay to not have that drink. It's okay to not eat that really delicious food. It's okay to, you know, put things off a little bit and instead take a minute and go, oh, I'm building a life here. It's not just a weekend or a month or a single experience. I get, if I want, a lifetime of experiences, because this is where my life is now. And finally too, with headaches, because they have been reoccurring and they literally knocked me out quite a bit a little while ago. And that's me taking a look at how I work, because my lifestyle of, again, sitting at a desk all the time, actually going on walks, movement, definitely is apparently a huge trigger for it. And also I've started going to the doctor and actually, you know, taking care of things like checking in on my headaches, checking in on, I've had weird ass spine issues because I've had multiple weird falls off of horses, off of swing sets. Like, I think it's like 4 or 5 of them, like repeatedly, where like I had some concussions and stuff when I was like 16. And so now my neck's a little messed up, and that combined with the lifestyle of just sitting at a desk all the time equals a lot of neck and muscle problems that then translate into headaches. So getting that resolved. And I think what really kind of hit home for me, how many times I've been like avoiding actually going to the doctor, is when I was watching a YouTube channel called The Financial Diet to just look and see like what other tips and tricks and things I could do to hopefully help my financial situation, which again, another video. And one of the things that they had mentioned at some point was the idea of that if you have insurance and you have, you know, decent insurance and you have the ability to go to the doctor and take care of your health, that it is actually a very big privilege, because not everyone has it, specifically in America. Like, that's, insurance is a fucking bitch, and it can be, especially if you don't have any to help cover your medical expenses. So the fact that I have insurance and I have the ability to cover my like expenses in this way, and I have not been maintaining my health, is just really shitty of me. And it's kind of like, go to the fucking doctor and make yourself feel better. New personal policy is prioritizing not just health in the small things I can do at home, by prioritizing my health in the going to professionals and seeking their opinion and following their treatment plans, so that I continue to maintain my health in an actually good, productive way. So that is the health part of this, building my foundation. And the next one will probably be finances and all that. Oh, I also wanted to address at some point, someone had mentioned in a comment down below why spirituality wasn't one of my cornerstones. And for me, my spirituality, witchcraft, and all that is so interwoven with freaking everything. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, like in this one I'm talking about mental health and meditation, in my home one it is important to have a spiritual connection to my home, to the place I'm living. There is spirituality in how I feel about stuff, deities, witchcraft, all that interweaves so much into each of these sections. It's like it can't even have its own little section. Like, it just is and merges in with every other piece of foundation of life. So it's kind of funny. If anything, I would say it goes like spirituality, thinking, you know, there, and then there's the cornerstones almost on top of it, because it bleeds into freaking everything. So yeah, next one I guess will be, let's go finances. Finances will be tomorrow, and I will see you guys then. Bye bye.